Joining us today is Robin Hamby from the Office of Family and School Partnerships at Fairfax County Public Schools. Hi, Robin.
Hi, Tracy.
Thanks so much for joining us today.
Thank you for inviting me.
Absolutely. We're really excited to hear about a program that you've developed for Fairfax County Public Schools that helps immigrant families. But before we get to that, can you tell us a little bit about what the Office of Family and School Partnerships does?
Sure. We have direct services that we provide to the schools, but we also provide services to the parents. For example, we offer parenting education classes. We have a program called Early Literacy, where we bring in the parents with their children and we focus on different literacy skills in their home language. For the schools, we offer support in their family engagement initiatives. We oversee the Parent Liaison program. We have what we call community liaisons that help newcomers to the county get sort of see how things work in the county and adapt to living in the United States. So we do a variety of things.
Okay. Well, what we really want to talk about today is, again, the program that you developed, which is the Immigrant Family Reunification Program. And as I understand it, it targets immigrant families that have been separated and that are sort of reuniting in the United States. There's a lot more to it than that, though, so why don't you fill us in?
Well, we've seen an increase in our immigrant population for years. The media has sort of jumped on it now, but this is something Fairfax County Public Schools has seen for quite a while, over 10 years. What we have seen more recently are children coming over, oftentimes unaccompanied, meaning they are coming into the United States without a relative, without a parent, without an adult. Many of them even come on their own as young as 10, 11 years old. So once the children reach Fairfax County, they often find themselves reuniting with a parent or parents that they haven't seen for many years, their whole childhood.
Okay. And so one of the core parts of the program is the Families Reunite workshop or training. Can you explain that?
You're right. There's two parts. We have Families Reunite professional development for anyone working in the schools or anyone interested in that matter. And we talk about why the children are coming now, why we're seeing an increase, and there's many reasons for that. These kids are living in home countries such as Honduras, Guatemala, El Salvador, where there's a great deal of deprivation, not enough food to eat. They're not making it to school for various reasons, one of them being especially in Honduras, for example, the villages are run by gangs, and at a certain age, kids are often forced to pick an affiliation with a gang, and if they choose not to, their lives become in danger. So there's a lot of violence. There's a lot of abuse in the homes, because again, they're being raised by others, sometimes grandparents, aunts, or neighbors. So the kids come to us, and we want to be sure that we can reach these families either by identifying the students or the parents very early on. Now, we don't ask that type of question when the kids register, and that's okay. We have folks like the community liaisons who talk with the parents, and it just comes up organically in the conversation that, oh, I haven't seen my child for 8 years. I don't know him anymore. We're having a lot of trouble gelling as a family. And so we want to help the parents understand where the children are coming from emotionally, socially, intellectually. We want to help the teachers because many of these children have interrupted education. So although we absorb these kids in our school system, we know we see we've had an incline, so we're not surprised we're getting more students. We are getting students at a lower literacy level, and that's where the challenges come in. The challenge also comes in that many of these children have suffered trauma. Either they've witnessed a violent act or they've been a victim of a violent act. And so that's something that changes, a classroom setting, and that's something that we focus on in the professional development. We also train folks to be facilitators of the curriculum that you mentioned, Families Reunite, and that's a parent education curriculum. It's only 6 hours. We tend to do it in 2 3-hour sessions, and again, we're giving the parents tools to understand how to relate to their children. So it's a lot of discussion. We're building their social network because the parents are meeting other parents who have the same circumstances or very similar circumstances.
So that's very helpful for them as well then.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Sometimes they think they're the only ones, you know, until they meet other people in the same situation.
And so overall, I imagine that the feedback has been very positive from these parents.
It's been very positive. We really, truly were not sure what to anticipate in the beginning, but we have full classes, 25 to 30 parents attending, the step parents, the fathers, the mothers. We've tended to focus on the high schools that have the greatest number of these reunifying families. That would be Lee High School, Herndon High School, Falls Church, Annandale High School, Stewart High School, Edison High School, Mount Vernon, and West Potomac. Those are our biggies, and they all have over 33% Hispanic population. Not that they're all reunifying, but the parents say things such as, now I know how to talk to my child. I know how to communicate better with my child, because we talk about that. I know it's important to say I love you to my child. So things that we may take for granted in our culture, but is not something that they necessarily have experience with in theirs. Okay.
Now, are the workshops free for the parents?
They're free as long as the money keeps coming. I've written a few grants, so Wells Fargo has helped us immensely. We have a little bit of money coming from other folks that have given sort of donations to this enterprise. We're also taking our show on the road, meaning we're offering the professional development for other school districts, and we are charging for that, and that helps sustain our program a bit better.
Okay, fantastic. And so for the parents who are interested in the workshops, where can they go to find more information?
The easiest thing would be to email myself or my project assistant, or call, but we're in the Fairfax County Outlook, you know, phone system, email system. And it's real easy. It's rshamby, Hamby, @fcps.edu. And then we make sure parents get to the right place and get the information they need.
Okay. And also for the FCPS teachers, social workers, or counselors who may want to learn how they can help some of those immigrant students in their schools who may be dealing with reunification, what can they do?
Right now I'm offering through my PLT, so professional development trainings, and I think there are 3 left this year, so they can go to the website that Fairfax County offers. We also have a web page that has various information, such as a resource list, a review of the literature that's out there on reunifying families. We have a list of books and films that pertain to this topic, but we're more than happy to come out and talk with schools. Next week there's a professional development day, and we've been invited by 3 schools to come and talk to their staff. I've met some incredible people by going out to the schools, as has the others that I work with. We have some really dedicated ESOL teachers and social workers who are doing their best, because it really is quite challenging when you have a classroom of mostly level 1 students who not only have, as I said, the difficulty with the language, but they have this sort of emotional and trauma-based damage, really, that needs to be sorted out.
Wonderful. Well, it sounds like a great program, so thank you so much for your work and for coming in today.
Thanks, Tracy.